Well, hello, y'all. How y'all are tonight? you know, uh, I just got finished with that video about me out in the country. And I come home and I sub this young lady's channel. And uh, I can't even remember her name now, but uh, I haven't watched a lot of her channel yet. I plan on it because she plays guitar and she sings and she's into prepping and first one thing another. But she happened to have this one young man, and he gave this testimony. And, people know me, know that I'm not one to push religion or anything like that. But I don't know, just something said that, this, I need to do this. So probably get a lot of thumbs down, and that's okay. But what it is, this young man gave a testimony about he fell off a ladder and hurt his back, and he had went in for a surgery. Well, he died on the operating table, and he gave a description of what he saw while he was on the operating table, about the golden light surrounding everything, and just a real, you sit there and listen to his testimony, and I know a lot of people, it's this, that, and the other. But people there is something to the religious stuff. God is real. Now, he gave his testimony about dying and coming back, and on some of my videos, I have kind of hit on how I was converted or how I come to the way I feel right now. And like I said, I was in and out of church all my life. And at one time when I went to that church and that Indian guy was preaching, and I was sitting in my pew one minute wondering when it's going to be over, and the next minute I was up there crying like a baby. Well, after that, something changed. I went home, got rid of all my paraphernalia. I called my buddy up, told him not to come over. I wasn't going to buy anything from him. Flushed all my drugs and spent the next month worst time in my life. It was because I had been to so many churches and learned so many stuff that I thought if I made the slightest little, mistake, like the Baptists back then, they was all hell's fire and brimstone. If you don't do it God's way, he's going to get you. And, you read the Old Testament, that's the way he was. You either did it his way or you died. So I spent the next month scared out of my wits. I thought, well, if I cuss, if I have a bad thought, if I smoke a cigarette, if I do anything like that, God's going to send a bolt of lightning down and strike me dead right on the spot. Well, I went through that for about a month, and finally it just got too much for me. I said, screw this, I'm finished with this. I ain't going to spend the rest of my life like this. So I went right back to what I was doing. Smoking dope and shacking up and, doing everything I was doing. I never was a bad person. I didn't go out stealing and selling. I'd sell a little marijuana every once in a while, but I wasn't a drug dealer, like hard drugs. I didn't even take hard drugs. But anyway, what made me give it up was I went to bed one night and I woke up the next morning. I went to bed that night and I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning and had to go take a leak. So I got finished and I went in the kitchen, get a glass of water, and I sat down there at the kitchen table and there was a pad and a pencil there. So I picked it up, and I used to be into poetry and stuff like that, so I just started writing, not really realizing what I was writing down. I got up the next morning, made me coffee, sit down to drink my coffee, and I seen that pad there, and I looked at it, and I thought, So this is what I read. This is what I wrote down that night. Across the top of the page, it was "Welcome to Hell." And then the verses went, "Look around you, sinner, look around you well, for this is the place you were told about. This place is called hell. You cry out to God and ask why can't he hear? Well, he could on earth, but there's no way down here. You thought I'd be merciful for doing my bidding, but who in the hell do you think you were kidding? You had your chance, and man, did you blow it, and I will be here to constantly let you know it. So go ahead and cry, for the tears that you shed will be like hot drops of molten lead. Welcome to hell." Son, I like to fell off my chair. And that's when I said, well, that's it. Whatever I did, it was wrong, and now I'm the devil's. So I just kind of give the religion thing up. So, but I just couldn't. After that, a few years later, I finally got married, and my wife's family was Pentecostal, and so I'd go to church with them, and I was up there every Wednesday and every Sunday and letting them shove me around, and, "Oh, brother, you're going to get the Holy Ghost," and this and that, and I went on for this for over 5 years, man. Never did get no Holy Ghost. I didn't know what the hell they was even talking about. As a matter of fact, it got so bad, I got so tired of them shoving me around up there in front of the church that I started practicing this tongues that they would talk. Simata, simitamata, and so one day I got up there, man, and I put me on a show, Jack. Oh, simata, simitamata, blah, 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 blah. And everybody, "Oh, yeah, brother, you got the Holy Ghost, you got the Holy Ghost." I didn't get nothing. But God did work some miracles in my life. I mean, it's going on 10 minutes and I got to shut this off. So there's going to be a part 2 to this, okay? Hope y'all don't mind. Stay tuned for part 2.